Tell me, where is your maker now? Call him. Call down his wrath upon me. You cannot, for he does not exist.
They are under the command of the Venatori, in service to something called the Elder One.
The Templars come to kill you.
If we are to withstand this monster, we must control the battle.
More pain this time. The Elder One still comes. You are a mistake. You should never have existed.
Inquisition! With the Herald! For your lives! For all of us!
It ends here. Bow before your new god and be spared.
Hello everyone, this is Zach Moore, aka Blue Spartan 107 here. Just gonna do another video real quick, not a review movie or anything, just as you saw, the Dragon Age Inquisition newest trailer that popped up about a day ago for me. Probably 2 days if I upload this tomorrow, Friday, which could be of two possible ways, going to school or probably even getting new roommates and have Wi-Fi since there's supposed to be new people moving into my dorm tomorrow. But new Dragon Age Inquisition trailer kind of reveals more about the bad guy. If I'm correct, the bad guy is this person known as the Elder One. He's apparently the new god. Which could I think it possibly means that this guy's an archdemon. Especially if they kept showing off dragons and everything. Archdemons tend to take the forms of dragons, even though they're old gods locked up by the Darkspawn. This could probably perhaps even be like the resurrection of one of the archdemons from the past, and he's come back for his vengeance, perhaps the very first one. If I'm correct, that god's name is Dumas, which was mentioned quite a bit from the Legacy DLC of Dragon Age 2, which was one of my favorites because of the Hawkski weapon. That weapon's pretty awesome, especially if you do the overpowered glitch, where you and your teammates press like the buttons that give your swords different powers. If you do that, it becomes the most awesome weapon in the game, bar none. Although I save it for the third act to make it even more awesome. But no, I'm getting off track here. This new guy, the Elder One, I'm pretty sure that he is an archdemon. That's my theory, of course. Other people might think the same way, but he probably isn't. He could be, but he probably isn't. My theory, of course, is he is. But BioWare probably has different plans for what the Elder One is. I'm pretty certain that like from the other trailer that I reviewed last time, that the Tevinter, they know something about this, and that one mage that mentioned that, he mentioned like probably a particular group of Tevinter people that are trying to resurrect the Elder One or trying to bring him into this world so that way he can take over. I also find it kind of interesting that he says that you are a mistake, and there's this one scene where it shows your character, he's going up to this glowing being, and it looks like he's trying to touch it. It's probably one of two possibilities. Either A, it's some kind of like guardian that's given the Inquisitor the ability to stop these little fade tears in order to save the world, or B, it could perhaps even be his tormentor that was shown in that one part of the trailer, which I'm pretty sure is either a vision or an event that happens in the game. With him like battling his inner demons from the looks of it, since they both have like the same armor. So it's my theory that they are both like the same person, or perhaps someone from his group that was taken over by an evil demon, or perhaps even it's just a vision in his mind. It's just some of my random theories. I don't even think I came up with like an actual plan about this, but okay. Anyways, a few random things that I noticed from the trailer that really makes me excited for this game, despite the fact that my opinions towards BioWare have kind of soured after Dragon Age 2 and Mass Effect 3's particular, what term would I like to use? Particular disfavorable choices, I guess is a good one, with like not putting off Mass Effect 3 for the 6 months they were going to put it off for in order to improve upon some of the things that people tended not to agree with. And of course with Dragon Age 2, rush development, and how the story actually fell flat for me in the third act. I'll probably explain that whenever I review Dragon Age 2, but, just moving on with this trailer though. It looks like that they're actually, doing stuff, and it looks like the game is going to be pretty awesome. My brothers have already pre-ordered it, but I haven't because financial issues and such. Still waiting on that call for the job. I'll probably just stop by tomorrow, ask what's going on, because the sign's still up for them. So, but no, getting off track here. Some of the things I noticed. Cullen, I heard that he was mentioned, and he's actually the guy that wears that particular helmet from the trailer that's like raising his sword from the one that I reviewed last time with Morgan and the Inquisitor. I also heard that he's actually a romance option, which a lot of people I'm pretty sure are excited for. He's a straight romance option though, so only the ladies get him, which is fine by me because I always play as a male character that always romance a female character. No offense to the gay population out there. I don't think I could manage to make a character in a game and just have them romance a character of the same sex, let alone actually do something like that in real life. Because I just like women. That's it. So, I'm completely straight, and I end up being straight in games. That doesn't mean I hate gay people, of course, for you guys out there. It just means that I'm not, open to even playing as a gay person in a game. It's just not my thing. But, Cullen's in there. It looks like that he's actually become a bit less angry at the mages, perhaps. That's probably just, false assumptions and everything, because he was kind of delirious about mages in the second game. But, it looks like that with age comes wisdom, and he looks pretty epic in this game. Especially since he's not really wearing the Templar armor anymore. I wonder if that's because he's considered an ex-Templar, or if, he just doesn't feel like wearing it. I'll have to see when I play the game. Another random thing I noticed. For Sword and Shield warriors, the shield's on their back, but the sword's now kind of like in a, a holster. No, not holster. Holsters for guns. Scabbard, I think. Scabbard, something like that. It's to your side instead of on your back like it was in Dragon Age 1 and 2. That's kind of how I wanted Skyrim to be, like when you you put away your sword into its whatever sheath. That's the word, sheath. Yeah, sheath. Sheath works. But, like when you put your sword in your sheath, you always got your shield on your arm, and then in Dragon Age, whenever you put your weapons away, you put them both on your back. Now it's kind of like a mix between your shield's on your back, your sword's on your side. It looks pretty good, so I guess I'll agree with that. Although I'm not exactly sure what kind of character I'm going to play as. Oh no, he's going to be warrior class, so he's either going to be, two-handed or sword and shield. Because that's usually how all my playthroughs go. I'll explain about that at the end, my playthroughs, so that way you guys kind of get an idea. But, no, gonna show a random picture here. Morgan, she looks incredible in this game. I mean, she looked great in the first game. She was never shown in the second game, which I guess was a blessing. Because Alistair, what the fuck happened to him? His face looked plumper. And it's only been about 6 or 7 years after Dragon Age Origins at that time for him. So, yeah, that's pretty sad. But no, Morrigan, she looks incredible. I mean, I romanced her in the first game, so that's why I'm saying that. Even her costume, I didn't like it so much in the first game. I would have preferred it to be more like the one shown from the Sacred Ashes trailer. But her costume in the third game, it is pretty much the same thing she wore in the first game, but it looks a whole lot better in my opinion. Probably because updated graphics and everything. Because Dragon Age Origins kind of looked like it was running on a older system, even for 2009. Assassin's Creed 2 kind of did the same exact thing there, but we're not talking about Assassin's Creed right now. We're talking about Dragon Age, one of my other favorite franchises besides Halo. But she just looks great. I mean, when they showed off the very first teaser trailer, I was a bit skeptical about how she looked, but she looks a whole lot better in this game, which is nice. It's really nice because I kind of like Morrigan, for her style and her attitude. She's kind of, like, hey, I'm going to do this. You're not going to stop me. I don't give a fuck what you think. She's that kind of girl. And I kind of like that, at least when it comes to her. She's pretty good at that. But, yeah, another random thing. If you noticed in the trailer, near by the end, it showed a very epic thing, or at least it's epic to me. Beamhawk. They showed that Hawk is going to come back into this game. Obviously not as a playable character, because it's the Inquisitor's story now, but your Hawk, yeah, it's officially been shown that they're going to come back. Because we've heard that they're coming back. Yeah, they're supposed to still play a part of the story, being, the Warden and Hawk. But now you actually see that. You see that they showed off Beamhawk, which is my guess, that they played through the default storyline you automatically get stuck with if you start from Inquisition instead of Dragon Age 1 and 2, because she was a mage. And from what I heard, the default storyline is, the first game, you were De La Chelle, and you sacrificed your life to stop the Archdemon. No dark ritual was made. I don't exactly remember what happened with Alistair or Logain or Honora, because I usually just try to play my origin stories. But, that happened. And then, for Dragon Age 2, you were a mage, and you helped the mages, is what they officially decided. So, from that trailer, I'd have to guess that they were showing off, their default Hawk idea. Now, the person shown with her in the picture, I don't think that's the Warden. Some people, I'm pretty sure, are assuming it's the Warden. Some other people are like, nah, that's not the Warden. From some of the looks of his face, it could actually be Carver, although the only problem with that is that Carver, had darker hair, and I don't see him getting lighter hair, in between second and third game. But he does wield a two-handed sword, which does make me think that it probably could be Carver, but I do have doubts about that. So it could be Carver, it could be the Warden, or it could just be a completely random character. But like I said, since I thought it was a default playthrough trailer, then it couldn't have been the Warden, because De La Chelle Warden was dead. So, but, it shows that Hawk is coming back, and it shows that Hawk will be in, their champion male. My only, the only thing I really want to figure out, though, is if you get to use the weapon you used at, the end of Dragon Age 2, instead of, a default weapon they automatically give you. Because if they get rid of Ethan Hawke's Hawk's key, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay, he had, the greatsword version of it, and it was pretty badass, especially when I just completely overpowered it. I just love that weapon. Okay, last thing I want to talk about. Now, one final scene where it shows the dragon about to fly straight at the Inquisitor and kill him, that other dragon pops up and they start fighting. Now, the picture actually makes it look like that Fleming is probably the dragon that's right there. And the reason why I'm guessing that is because of the horns. The horns are shaped in the exact same way as Fleming's horns from Dragon Age 2. Not necessarily, of course, Dragon Age Origins, because Dragon Age Origins, they kept the dragon style the same. Dragon Age 2, they did kind of change it a bit, but now with Dragon Age Inquisition, they're introducing multiple variants of dragons. That dragon that was shown there, had like the Flemish style. So my guess is it's Flemish. She kind of, in my opinion, is either a chaotic neutral or a lawful evil character. And she kind of, moves along with the events. She lets things happen so that way other things can happen that are meant to happen. Like fate, destiny, whatever you wish to call it. Flemeth is like one of those particular characters that I actually kind of like, but at the same time, I want to kill her. Zach Hoosland killed her in Dragon Age Origins. Ethan Hawke revived her technically in Dragon Age 2. And I'm pretty sure that Thomas, whatever his last name is supposed to be, is going to do some damage to her if she's a bad guy in the game. If she's technically a good guy and isn't going to try to possess Morgan, then sure, I'll leave her alive. But if she does try possessing Morgan, I'm going to have, Thomas, Ethan, and Zach Hoosland kill her. That kind of sounds crazy, but, if it's Flemeth, cool. I got my guess right. But, so I guess to explain, like, how my story happened, Zach Hoosland, human noble origin, he was a warrior with a sword and shield, pretty much the default thing you started out with, and he united Ferelden, did the Dark Ritual, put Paramount on the throne, convinced Zathrin to cure the werewolves, which made, the werewolves go and the Thedas join you. Save the mages in the Circle of Magi. Of course, cured Arleman without polluting the ashes, since he was kind of, devout believer in the Maker and whatnot, despite Morgan's, disapproval of the Maker. He didn't mind, like, her non-belief in him, because he did romance her, so. But, and he also was able to save Connor and his mother. Her name escapes me at the moment. But he killed Loghain and, Arl Howe, because Howe's a jackass, and Loghain, he just felt that Loghain deserved to have justice brought to him. So, he just did that. And, like I said, he did the Dark Ritual. He let Alistair and Nora marry because he figured that their combined efforts may actually help benefit Ferelden. And then, of course, he had to save transferred over to Awakening, where he spared the Architect because he, had faith that the Architect may actually help the situation with the Darkspawn by freeing, some of their minds. So he allowed him to continue his experiments so long as, he did them without attacking the entire, Grey Warden Fort and Amaranthine again. He also saved Amaranthine and let the fort, hold itself together since he got all the upgrades. Justice died, which of course made himself transferred to Anders, which is why Anders and Justice are combined in the second game. That's just at least how it plays out for me, because I'll bring along Nathaniel Howe, Helena, and Oghren, because Oghren, is the Warden's best friend in Awakening. Which is probably why he wasn't brought back into Dragon Age 2, but, if you did play the Awakening DLC, you did get that little bonus mission for Hawke where you help out the Wardens, but you also get, like, this little potion that can increase one of your skills, or something like that. But, he did that, and then he did Witch Hunt, in which case he caught up to Morgan, and they decided to get back together, and he went with her to meet his son, since she said that, the child is a boy from the Dark Ritual, which involved, of course, if you haven't played Origins, involved your character, if your character was male, or Alistair or Loghain, if either of them were by your side as Grey Wardens, and you ended up conceiving a child with her, and she saves her life when you kill the Archdemon, so that way the Archdemon's soul gets absorbed into the unborn fetus. And so she carried that child for 9 months far away from you and delivered it, and now she's trying to resonate some kind of power, which will probably be explained more in Dragon Age Inquisition. If they leave that whole part out, then that's just stupid, because they brought it up, they should finish their idea. But then, of course, with Dragon Age 2, Ethan Hawke looked a bit more like a Ravani, he had like the darker skin, but he had the Ferelden accent, of course. And he helped out the mages. He also, got the friendship of most of his, crew. He made Isabel and Sebastian his rivals, and they, of course, did help out. But, he made Isabel his rival because he technically doesn't like Isabel a lot for her pirating ways and her whoring. He's, like one of those stalwart knights, kind of like Avalon. And he ended up in a romance with Meryl because Meryl is like the Tally of the Dragon Age series, in my opinion. Alright, and especially with her costume. It totally reminds me of Tally's, suit from Dragon Age. I'm not Dragon Age, from Mass Effect 2 and 3. What the fuck am I saying? But, he made friends with all of his squad mates. He didn't betray them to anything. Well, except for, I guess, Sebastian, since he spared Anders his life after Anders caused the calamity at the end of Dragon Age 2. He helped out mages where he could. His sister became a Grey Warden. And, he did both the Legacy and Mark of the Assassin DLCs, which they were pretty good. I mean, they did expand upon the Dragon Age 2 story, and BioWare was able to make them very awesome. I really enjoyed them, as we'll later find out whenever I talk about it in a review. Because I still gotta finish up my replay through of Dragon Age Origins after the Xbox wipe. I'm only after getting out of, Hawk's home Lothering. But, Ethan Hawke, warrior, two-handed sword. Zach Kuzlin, warrior, sword and shield. And then the new character, my Inquisitor, he's gonna be named Thomas something. Whatever the last name is automatically set for a human male. Unless, of course, you can actually set the last name, but I doubt it. But, he's going to be Thomas something. Because Thomas is an alternate name I like to use, along with Ethan, Jason, David. They're just random names I like that I think work. Kind of like how Reclusiarch uses the name Alexander for his hawk and his shepherd. Because, he thinks that the name Alexander works. So, that's the way we do things. But, you'll actually, if I was to record them, I do have plans for, making movie variants of Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age Origins, of course, I'd probably try to provide the voice for Zach Kuzlin. If not, I'll probably find a skilled voice actor to do it because, I technically don't have the equipment to do, an actual voice recording that sounds awesome. If you guys watch my voice test video, then you'll, kind of notice that. Because I just did some random voices, AIs, and, aliens, ghouls, just stuff. And my voice acting, I've never really done so much of that. I've never voice acted in machinima or anything, so. But, there's also an alternate universe that my brother Xavier and I are working on, in which case there are multiple wardens in the first game. Zach Kuzlin being one of them, my brother Xavier's warden, Adrian Idukin being one. We had the city elf named Gabriella Tavris. We had the Dalish elf named Elentea Mahariel, I think the last name was. We had the commoner dude. His name was a Sparta or Sparata last name. But, I forget his name actually. But then we had the sixth person, the mage origin storyline. We didn't make that, Serana or Amel. We instead made it another Hawk, and we named him Sean. And he was actually Ethan Hawke's brother, although his skin complexion is a little more paler than Ethan's. Ethan, has his mother or father's skin tone, while he has... actually, I think it's more like his father's skin tone, his mother's eyes. Kind of like how my dad and my mom look. Mom has the paler skin, but she has blue eyes. Dad's kind of got tanner or darker skin, and he's got brown eyes. It's essentially the same way with Ethan and Sean, since Ethan and Sean is actually something I do in a lot of things. Ethan and Sean are supposed to be two brothers. One of them's a troublemaker, the other one's, the complete holy knight kind of guy. But, Sean Hawke joins the team, and all six of them are Grey Wardens. Zach Kuzlin, Gabriella Tavris, and Adrian Idukin are the ones that are at Ostagar, while Hawke, the other guy, the other dwarf, and Mahariel end up joining them later. Since Mahariel, she was corrupted by the mirror and she needed to be saved, so they were able to do the dark ritual, not the dark ritual, the joining ritual on her, and she made it. And then, of course, Hawk and the other guy, they became Grey Wardens afterwards. Once Loghain was actually killed, in fact, since they also had a master Grey Warden, a higher ranked person, so he was able to perform the ceremony for them, since they didn't want to perform it after Mahariel, since she did almost die. But afterwards, for the Dragon Age 2 storyline, Ethan Hawke is not like the actual Hawke. Instead, the actual Hawke is Xavier Hawke. My brother Xavier made him, and Xavier Hawke and Adrian Idukan, they're both rogues that like to use axes. So Xavier Hawke tends to use those spirit axes you get from the rogue packs, and Ethan joins him since he's his cousin, and they end up going and doing their whole destiny in Kirkwall. Whereas, Xavier buys the Amell estate for his mother and him, and Ethan becomes the champion of Kirkwall while he makes Xavier his scion. And then, of course, they end up saving the mages since they decided to make that choice together. But yeah, also, all my characters tend to play as a Templar class. Zach Huslin was Templar champion, along with, in Awakening, I believe I also gave him the, I think Spirit Warrior was one of them, but I also gave him, oh, man, why have I forgotten him? It was one of those special classes, though. What was that other one? Right, Guardian. I also gave him Guardian. He used those kind of classes. And then Ethan was a Templar as well. So Thomas will most likely become a Templar if they bring that class in, which I am certain they will. And I hope that, of course, with the whole class thing, they do give you an explanation as to how you become that class, or how you learn that class. Instead of like in Dragon Age 2, where you can just automatically choose Templar, Reaver, Berserker. There's no actual explanation to it. Not like in Dragon Age Origins, where you can either learn them from books or learn them from squad mates. So, anyways, I think I'm going to end this video now. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Dislike if you're like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Comment on any of your ideas of Dragon Age Inquisition. Do you think it'll be good? Do you think it'll suck? Just keep it clean, guys, okay? We don't want to start any riots. Share this video if you feel like it. I'm not going to stop you. And subscribe. I'm getting a few more subscribers from a few of my things, so hopefully, all you guys will check out these videos, and hope you'll stick around for future videos. If this is posted on Friday, then you'll see a new review movie on Monday. I'm going to review Halo 3 ODST. But if this is posted on Monday, then that means, it'll be posted the same exact day as Halo 3 ODST. So, you guys will see that later. I'll see you guys later. Peace.